Good evening. It's been the wonderful time which we are going to spend from this moment. So it's been a great, proud moment for us to have you people, the team experts, the training expertise of Great Mind Network team. So we heartily welcome you all to this. Thank you, ma'am, for being a part of this. And it is our students' great opportunity they are getting to explore such kind of things. And today we have here Ms. Chedipai, who has been the Learning and Working Development Manager, the Image Coach, the Ambassador of Toastmaster. I heartily welcome you, ma'am, and I request you to come over the stage and take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Amit, for that introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. How are you all feeling tonight? Well, I'm feeling great as well, as I'm getting really excited. So it's indeed a privilege to introduce our speaker for tonight's seminar. She is an accomplished professional with more than 2 decades of handling multifaceted trainings and skills development courses. She founded the Filipino Computer Club, the very first club in Dubai under the auspices of the Philippine Embassy, where it transformed more than 33,000 less privileged individuals. And she is also the recipient of the first Outstanding Filipinos in the UAE and the first Achievers Award in UAE as well. So she is a multi-awarded. And in addition to that, she is a Toastmaster, and she served the organization as area governor, and she achieved the highest distinction in Toastmaster, which is DTM, and currently serving our organization as Pathways Guide. So she enjoys dancing, singing, and her personal statement is, I do my best when I bring out the best in you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome our speaker, Engineer Gigi Sablan.
Well, as DDM Chedipai had mentioned earlier, we're really getting so excited tonight because we're going to show you certain things that would definitely help you in your life. Right, so we've entitled this seminar as Be Better Than Your Best Version of Yourself. To start with, I'd like you to just close your eyes for a minute and look back at your childhood. Your friends, the house where you used to stay, your playmates, the games that you used to play, the surroundings. I could see some of you smiling, recollecting some of your good old days. All right, so sorry to cut you there, otherwise we'll be here till tomorrow. So, well, as for me, when I grew up in a small town in the Philippines, San Vicente, Bacoor, Pampanga. Do you recall as well, by the way, how did you look at that time? I'm sure you were cute, beautiful girls, right? Well, as for me, I wasn't really that cute. This is how I look at that time. I was forced to speak in front of so many students and parents in a graduation ceremony in a school which was founded by our great grandma. I was so nervous and scared. So when I went down the stage, I promised myself I would never ever go back that stage again. Well, growing up in a convent, I was with my sister, Cherry, and my cousin, Elizabeth. And when we come back from school, my mother would always ask a magic question. Well, she was from a Chinese descent, so she was, Chinese origin, so she was slender, yet she had a very firm voice. And she always had this gesture, you know, how mothers are, right? So when we come back from school, she will say, "What good thing did you do or learn today?" Now, I would like you to do this with me as well. Like, act like my mom when I do this symbol and I do like that. Just try to repeat the magic question. Shall we just repeat that again? What good thing did you do or learn today? Okay. So that was the question that she asked. My sister was saying, oh Mom, I recited a poem. Wow, very good, Mom said. And my cousin, she will come up with all sorts of things. She said, I cleaned the board, I cleaned the floor, I threw the trash. And my mom again would say, oh, very good. And when it came to me, I would simply say, I dance. And I would get away with that. You see, my mother was a dance teacher, so she loved dancing. And every time there is any ceremony in the school or in the family, I was always pushed to, not really pushed because I loved it. I used to dance. But after some time, when she asked me the question, what good thing did you do today? I definitely had to change it because I had to study really hard. I completed my elementary school, my high school, and eventually I went to the University of Santo Tomas, where I took up industrial engineering. They said that industrial engineering is a jack of all trades and a master of none. Have you heard that from anyone? So what I did, I specialized in computerized business system and eventually moved to the United States of America to qualify for my degree. Then I decided to pass by Dubai for 2 weeks. Guess what? The 2 weeks became 2 months and many more years. I won't tell you the number of years because you're going to guess my age, right? But anyway, I love Dubai. And well, this is, sorry, I used to show you this. This is the place where I grew up. It's all fields and beautiful mountains on the side. So Dubai was really something that I look forward to. Just as a holiday. I never thought that I'm going to be here to work and do whatever I'm supposed to do. Well, probably there was a good reason. That's why I'm here standing before you today, right? That could be a reason. So I got fascinated with everything about Dubai, gold, of course, and shopping and everything. Until one day, something happened. June 15, 1991, Mount Pinatubo erupted. This is a volcano that was dormant for 100 years. It was so beautiful. All of a sudden, it erupted. I was glued in CNN watching what's going to happen. This volcano, it erupted and produced hot, gigantic mudflows. And all the clouds of volcanic ashes spread all over the place, about 100 miles across. And I saw on the TV houses being destroyed, taken by mudflows. I saw thousands of people dying. My family is there. My mother, my sister, my cousins, and everyone. So I called my sister. She was not answering. I called my mom, my mother, and no line. Can you imagine how it's like when you don't know what's happening to your family? All you could see is just the news. 5 days, 5 agonizing days, and I didn't know what's happening there. Finally, I was able to speak to my uncle, and he arranged for my mother to go there. So on the line, Mom, how are you? And my mom said, we're okay. Where is Jerry? She's okay. My aunt, she's okay. All my cousins, don't worry. Everyone is okay. But all our belongings, our furnitures, and my garden with all the orchids, roses and gumamela, they're all ruined. your sister? I'll bring her too. What about your aunt? I'll bring her too. And your relatives, your cousins, I'll bring them all. If you want, we can bring all the cats and the dogs as well. I said, just to make her laugh, you know. But anyhow, after I put down the phone, I was overwhelmed with what I said. I was just a plain employee working at Maritime and Mercantile, earning about 8,000 dirhams salary. The ticket at the time was 3,000 dirhams. I said, how will I bring them all? It was a magnanimous promise that I had taken. But that led me to be better than myself. Because every single day, I tried to do great things so that people around me will be impressed, so that I can get better opportunities. It was, of course, a dark moment at that time. But then, I reminded myself of this code, and I'd like you to read it with me at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I'd like you to say it or to read it with emotion, okay? Challenges are what make life interesting. Overcoming them is what makes it meaningful. So I did my best to overcome this challenge. Well, by God's grace, in August, after 3 months, 1991, I was able to bring my mom here. And when she was looking for all of the garden, I took her to Jumeirah Beach Park. Some of you may not know this because you were not yet probably in Dubai at that time. But those who have been here, you will know that this was the most beautiful park at that time. And I said, Mom, this is your park. My mom enjoyed her life since then, being with us here. And one by one, I brought all my family members here. 8 of them were able to reach Dubai and enjoy the life here. I like Madonna. Do you like Madonna, or she's too old for you? This is also a good quote. Should we just read it? 1, 2, 3. No matter who you are, no matter what you did, no matter where you come from, you can always become a better version of yourself. This time I'd like you to just recollect, how were you 10 years ago? What's your age now? 19, 20. Okay, so you must be about 10 years old? 10 years ago? Okay. So how did you look like at that time?
Very cute.
Cute still? Cuter? Who were your friends? What books did you read and what did you talk about? Then fast forward 5 years ago. How were you at that time? More mature? Beginning to be more conscious about your clothing because you were teenagers at that time, right? 14, 15. Now, a year ago, how were you? What version of yourself were you at that time compared to today? So if my mom would ask you that question, what was it? What good thing did you do or learn today? I'm sure you're answering that question every single day. Something new, something you've learned, right? Well, here, I'd like you to just stand up and take a partner, get a piece of paper, okay? Now you're going can I have Cherry with me as my partner? Or I think I like a strong man. I think I'll take Mr. Sunil. Because I want to challenge myself, okay? Take your partner and be ready. Like, you know, you want to have a wrestling with someone, okay? Okay, so do like this, okay, with your partner. Ready? Okay. Good. Just try. Everybody has a partner? Okay. So you're going to you can take a paper from there. See? So you're going to apply your force, but make sure we don't want anybody to go to the hospital, okay? Just balance it in such a way that, okay? So apply your force. Apply. Let me win. Now you go for okay, right. Okay, keep on doing. Come on, challenge yourself. See who's gonna win. you see, that is how you have applied certain courses, right? If you look back about 10 years ago and you will be pushing this with somebody bigger than you, or sorry, younger than you, definitely you're going to win. But if you have somebody stronger than you, definitely you will lose, right? So we become better in terms of our physique as the years pass by. Now here, if you look at this, you know, even mobiles. Did you see these mobiles before? Yes. You know, they didn't have a camera, so you had to attach a camera. Right? And those who had their girlfriends, and they didn't want to know that they had other girlfriends, you know what they'll do? They'll put a lock on their mobiles to make sure that nobody else will see what's in there. Well, mobiles also evolve, they improve, right? So from the big ones, in fact, I even saw the big ones like this. Oh, you have to carry it, it's so heavy. Nowadays, we have smartphones, right? And who is the main guy from Apple? Do you remember him? Yeah, Steve Jobs. I love Steve Jobs. He's a man who is innovative, although of course he passed away now. But he changed the way we communicate, right, through the smartphones. You see, here I have the story of Alice in Wonderland. Any of you have heard the story of Alice in Wonderland? Oh, you do, or you heard it. You see, Alice was lost, right? And she found a cat. She said, "Can you please show me the way? I'm lost." And the cat says, "Where are you going?" And what did Alice say? "I don't know." And now the cat answered, "Well, if you don't know where you're going, it really doesn't matter." So it's very important for us to know where we're going. Okay? What is your purpose in this world? Why do you think you have been born? Why are you here in Victoria? Do you know the answer? You've got to be clear on that. If still you're not, you've got to ask yourself the why. Why? Why am I in Dubai? Why am I studying? Why am I alive? Why am I even in this room today? Because if your whys are clear, the how will follow. Whatever you want to do after that, you will find the energy, the enthusiasm to be able to accomplish it. Again, we read this together. Purpose, a single moment of understanding can flood a whole life with meaning. So when you know your purpose, definitely your life will have a meaning. You see, I've been researching at the time when I was given the opportunity to speak before you. Thank you to Mr. Rajesh. I started to look at the courses offered by Victoria, all your modules. I also researched on what are the skills required. According to the World Forum, you would need at least to have knowledge, skills, and abilities. It's not enough that you have college education and you straight away get a job. I'm sure all of you have big dreams. If you have your family back home, I'm sure, like me, you're also dreaming of bringing them to Dubai, isn't it? Do you have some of your family members whom you're dreaming to bring to Dubai? And to make that happen, you need to have the money, at least to pay for your ticket, right? So to make that happen, you need to have a good job. Or if you like, you could even start your own business or your own company. But there are certain skills that are required. Nowadays, we have to face the fact that we are now in the fourth industrial revolution, where artificial intelligence is evolving. Have you come across Pepper? This is a robot which is employed by Emirates and BT. So if you want to open an account, "Hello, can I help you?" And then you will say, "I want to open an account." "Okay, you want to open an account, you need to have your passport, your photographs, your Emirates ID, and so on. Now, if these robots are going to take over our jobs, what else can we do? Do you think we will still have jobs in the future? No? What do you think? Guess what? We will still have jobs. Because there are certain things that robots cannot do. See, the World Economic Forum from the Future of Jobs identified these 10 skills which are required in 2020. Complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordinating with others, and so on. So you need to equip yourself with these skills if you would like to be employed. Well, we've done this part. See, earlier you had your partner, right, who tried to push that with you. First, can you now just say thank you to your partner for playing with you? Yeah? He's not your opponent. He's not your opponent. We just play the game. But if you try to just imagine that your partner is somebody who is the negative force stopping you to do something. Okay? Whenever we want to do something, there will always be negative forces around us. Can you guess what are those negative forces? Let's say now, coming over for this seminar, what could have stopped you? Problems, laziness even, traffic, yes. And do you know which is the strongest one? Your own self, right? The laziness. When this is now, it's better to sleep, it's nice, it's cold, instead of going out, that's a negative force, right? Well, at times we play some music, especially when maybe you're broken-hearted. I don't know if you heard that song. I'm Mr. Lonely. You heard that? I have nobody. Well, if you're singing songs like that, definitely you will not have anybody. So instead, what should you have? Some positive songs in the morning. Oh, I like Despacito. Have you heard that? Shall we all sing it? Yes. Despacito, right? So if you just hear it, you feel the beat and you really feel like you're dancing and you're on top of the world. So make sure that you supply yourself with good music. Now that you're with youngsters, with your friends, I encourage you to have your own playlist. Someday, when you hear these songs, you will be reminded of your youth, your good times in Victoria. And just when you hear that song, you feel like you're young again, just like me. When I hear the songs of ABBA, I feel like I'm again in high school, because those were the songs that we used to play, or we used to sing. So make sure you surround yourself with positive forces. Seminars like this, workshops, attend them, because they give you that extra boost. Surround yourself with good people, with positive people. Read good books. These are all positive forces that could help you achieve your dreams. And eventually, you will achieve whatever you've been dreaming of. Well, I have gathered, or I have put together 4 letter words with the acronym of BEST. All those 10 skills, I won't be able to cover them today. But I have a good news for you. The BEST, which I will be covering today, if you do them in your own special way every day, you will be acquiring a few of those skills that I have listed. How does that sound? Is it exciting? Are you looking forward to know what is BEST? Okay, so let's start with B, begin. You know, sometimes you want to do something, but again, that negative force is there. I urge you to use this technique. This technique, well, my mother used to do it, but I didn't know about it before. Since she was a teacher, she would come home at 5 o'clock, so she'll be out of the school at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock, usually she's at home. But sometimes she surprises us. Out of the blue, she'll come earlier, and we'll all be playing, and the house will be in a mess. And you know what she would say? Again, she used to put always her hat on. At the count of 5, I want this room to be clean. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all of us kids, we will just run and pick up whatever we can to make sure that the house is clean. So I'd like you to practice this with me. Let's say you want to do something, you want to read a book, you want to go to the gym, you want to go for a walk. But again, there's something that's stopping you in doing it. So can you now, with a loud voice, are we allowed to shout here, Mr. Sunil? Sure. Okay. Count loudly with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Ready? Start!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Right, so with this, you can trick your mind. What I got to know about this is also advised by an author named Mel Robbins. There is a book as well which says 5-second rule. Because the moment you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds or your brain will stop you in doing it. So now you've got your first tip. Don't forget it. Okay? Well, as they say, everything starts with a single step. Have you tasted the honey cake from Spinach? You love it? I love it. But the whole cake, you cannot swallow it, right? You need to still slice it and you can take a bite. Right, please, on your paper, there is a note there. Baby steps. What is it that you really want to do in your life? You could just list down 3 things that you want to do to move you closer to your goal. Those baby steps. Okay? With the interest of time, we may not be able to do them all together now, but even if you put one, that's enough. Right, let's move on now to letter E. Shall we all say E for empathize? Again, come on, are you robots? Why I can't hear your voice? Come on, prove to us that you're not robots. Ready? E for empathize. So, how do we empathize? It's very simple. What is it? Listen. Do you have listening class in Victoria? I don't think there is a listening class anywhere in any university. But listening is the most important aspect in communicating. You cannot communicate effectively if you don't even listen. Because sometimes we listen because we want to defend ourselves, but listen to understand. Okay? So you can say, oh, okay, say something like that to encourage the other person to talk to you. Well, you have some handsome guys around here. Look at the person sitting next to you. If she's a lady, just say, you look beautiful. And if it's a guy, well, man, you look handsome, you look great. Aren't you all good looking? Build your friendship now. Because the friends that you have, okay, enough. I think you can say beautiful, wonderful, charming. Keep doing all this outside our seminar, okay? But for now, my advice to you is maintain your friendship. Because the friends that you have now will be with you forever. Well, you may have so many friends in Facebook, but the friends that you have in real life, you need to value them. And also, be a part of something bigger than yourself. I'm sure all of you are gifted with talents. Some of you are good in dancing, in singing, in acting, photography, anything. Make use of this talent. Volunteer to be a part of something that is a community service or anything that is doing something for humanity. Don't think, oh, I'm too young for this. No. No one is too young to start doing something good. You agree with me? Embrace cultural diversity. You see what's happening at times is, most of the Indians, they go with the Indians. People from Kerala, the Malayalam, they only be with Malayali, they speak Malayalam, right? I like the Malayalam language because it's like you put the coins in the can, cling, I want to learn this, I want to learn how to speak Malayalam. And you see Pakistani speaks You know, they group themselves together with Pakistanis, Filipinos group themselves. You see them in the park. I advise you to go out of your comfort zone. Be with people who are different from you, from your religion, nationality, their lifestyle, because you can learn a lot. You see, in my case, I have friends from Namibia, from Africa, Italy, of course, India, Sri Lanka, and so on. You know, whoever gives me a free lunch, they become my friend. You want to be my friend? Just give me a free lunch. Biryani, that's good. Well, kidding aside, I have friends who would bring for me some sweets. Like, I've tasted the best dates from Namibia. Recently, I had the best honey from Australia. I also had some sweets from Greece. See, these are just the little, you know, or you could say the extras of it. But the main thing is learning from them. So try to explore different food. Don't be scared. Just give it a try. Because there's a lot to learn. Okay? You are the average of 5 people you spend your life with. Who are with you from the morning till the evening? If these people are negative, they only complain about, oh, there is VAT, you know, it's now an extra 5%, so much of expense. It's too hot, oh, it's so difficult. And you know, if somebody is always grumping like this, they're having their own pity party. Don't join the pity party. Make sure that you be with people who are positive. Can you show me your smile? Do you know how to smile? Smile, okay. Be with people who smile, who uplift your spirit. And of course, you should be smiling yourself, otherwise they will not be with you, right? So you could list down 5 people who make the best version of yourself. Who are these people who can improve your life, who can show you something? They may be so famous, they may be rich, they may be people in authority. But one thing I'll tell you, in my own experience, the people who are the most wealthy, the people who are so talented, so intelligent, and the people who are really having such a strong influence, believe me, they are the kindest. They are the most humble. So reach out, maybe an email or a phone call. Ensure that you reach out to them. Next is serve. As I said earlier, be a part of something bigger than yourself. So make sure that you try to eliminate a pain of others and instead serve. Be a volunteer. Share your talents. Any special talent you have, share it. You see, when my mother used to ask me this question, what good thing did you do or learn today? One of my answers was, I set up the Filipino Computer Club that had trained thousands of people about computer. I mean, they've learned how to use the computer. Of course, that was through my sister. At that time, I didn't know it's going to be that magnanimous, but we just had the pure intention of wanting to help others. Bring joy and laughter. Hopefully, we'll have some chance today. We will do a bit of laughter yoga. Have you heard of laughter yoga? So you can actually laugh even without reason. That's fun, isn't it? Value is the potential to serve. So serve. Robots cannot serve from the heart. So we still have a job. That is if you know how to serve. From the heart, you serve with love. Another thing that I have done is joining the Toastmasters, where Toastmaster Rajesh, Bintu, and Diti and Cherry were also involved. We help people improve their communication and leadership skills. And if you still haven't attended, I encourage you to join and just be a guest at least. Well, this is a photograph where we had a great celebration. That was my dear mom. It's one of the corporate clubs in Science Technique. We also reach out to the less privileged Filipinos who have encountered different problems, hosted temporarily at the Philippine Consulate. And we do workshops for them just to remind them that there is a better future, there is hope, and also urge them to forgive because they have been hurt badly. Well, list down, what do you think are 3 activities that can help you Be a better version of yourself. The last letter is T, think. Do you think how to think? Do you think how to think? You know, there was a marathon recently organized by Standard Chartered Bank. Have you seen that in the news? Do you think those people who attended that, who participated in the marathon, did they think how to run? They did, of course. They practiced. Some of them practiced in months, for months. Therefore, you also have to think how to think. And how do you think how to think? Just be curious. Find out things, how they were formed. It could even be a small flower and say, oh, what's in this flower? You see a new gadget, a new mobile. Okay, find out, what are the new features of this? I'm sure I don't need to tell you this because you will be curious, right? Every single model of Samsung or iPhone, you will definitely be knowing it. So be curious, find out what's new. And this, be involved. Gather your friends and talk about issues. Brainstorm among your friends and see if you could do something together. Don't wait for things to happen to you, but make things happen. And definitely, read books. What was the latest book you've read, aside from your college books? I know what books you've read. Facebook, right? Well, hopefully aside from Facebook, you read real books. Books are always going to be with you. Have a library of your own. You see, some books are not so expensive, especially if you buy them from India, from Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Philippines. You could find some books which are like reprinted, and they could be 1/4 of the price if you buy them from bookstores here. But ensure you read books, because the books you read today will walk and talk with you in the future. I advise you to have these 3 books. I'm a mind mapper. I've learned how to mind map. One of my mentors is Tony Buzan, who originated the use of mind mapping. I also follow Edward de Bono. 6 Thinking Hats is one of my topics. And my mentor, Dr. Art Murray, who is an expert in knowledge management. So read books like this, because they will challenge how you think. So what books would you read now? In addition to those that I have listed, have a goal of having at least 1 book a month. Do you think that's difficult? Just 1 book a month. Imagine in 1 year, how many books would you be reading? 12. And in 5 years? Come on, where's your box now? 60. How many? 60. Just see, imagine, in 5 years, what version of yourself you will be after reading all those books. So have I convinced you now to read more books aside from just going to Facebook? Is it? Well, explore your creativity. Try out new things. Because through creativity, innovation happens. And of course, you need to have your me time. I think we ladies like our me time. Going to the salon, spa. But with that as well, you could just go to the beach and, meditate and just spend some time with yourself. Reflect. Have you had a date with yourself? Raise your hand if you did. Maybe you date some girls and you go on a date with some guys, right? But have you gone on a date with yourself? I encourage you to do this. I usually date myself. I'll go to a 5-star hotel and sit there in the coffee shop and order just even a juice or a tea, green tea. And I can date myself. I can have my journal and look back at what I have done and what I plan to do. I urge you to do that. Go to all the 5-star hotels. No one is going to question you, but please make sure you dress up like you have money to pay. That's my tip for you. Don't dress up shabbily and go to the hotels. Otherwise, they'll think like you're somebody who's wanting to attack someone. Okay? So dress up nicely and walk confidently and sit in any of the 5-star hotels. It's free, right? No one will question you to do that. So, what 3 things would you do to improve yourself in terms of your thinking? Identify 3 items or 3 activities that will help you to improve your thinking process. Right, so we've covered the 4 letters. Can we all say them all together at the count of 3? Begin, empathize, serve, and think. Well, that little girl, shy little girl, has turned into a woman, as they say. You heard that song? This girl has turned into a woman. Well, that shy little girl has turned into a speaker, trainer, addressing thousands of people. And that's because I tried my very best to be better and better every single day. With the question of my mom, what good thing did you do or learn today? Till this day, I still try to answer that question. And I hope you would do the same. Well, Mount Pinatubo has stopped erupting. Thank God. And you know what? This is now a resort. I invite you to visit my hometown in Pampanga, where a beautiful scene of Mount Pinatubo is now open for tourists. You could go mountain trekking, they call that, yeah? Have you experienced that? Yes. It's amazing. And it's not very expensive. You will see the rice field and water around. It's very, very beautiful. Well, as for my mom, she spent 24 years here in Dubai. She experienced all the wonderful moments we had in the Filipino Computer Club, in the Friends of Yoga, in Toastmasters. She was a Toastmaster, can you believe? She used to deliver her speeches. And up in heaven now, she passed away February 2015. But if ever she asked me this question, what good thing did you do today? Well, I have an answer. Today I would say I spoke in front of beautiful and young students from Victoria College. And I hope they will plant seeds of greatness, that someday we will have a chance to even taste that fruit. Well, my dear students, I have enjoyed sharing these tips, my life story, and all the things that I believe in. And my sincere, wholehearted wish for all of you is may your action, every action, make you a better version of yourself. Good evening. Yours truly, Gigi Sablan.